Fortnite Arena Boxfights is a game mode produced by Epic Games and UEFN and was released last season in Chapter 7, Season 2. It had a whole bunch of story implications, but they were honestly really lame, so I'm not going to get into that. The reason we're all here today is to see if this game mode still holds up today. No, it doesn't at all. It never really held together in the first place. Arena's Boxfights is a ranked 1v1 style game mode made as a practice map for competitive players, and when it was first announced, it sent the community into a frenzy. I mean, to be fair, the Fortnite community is always mad. UEFN map creators and players were concerned it would take players away from their favorite maps, because an official Epic Games map not only has trust behind it, it gets pushed with real-world marketing, word of mouth, the in-game news tab, and has in-game cosmetics to encourage playtime. Many things most UEFN companies or solo creators can't come close to competing with. This led to a lot of the community losing trust in the UEFN space, because who's to say Fortnite isn't going to come in and make their own version of someone else's game? For example, like, steal a brain robbing. Oh shit. Also, logically, the billion-dollar company that owns this specific game must be able to make a better game mode, right? In reality, this game mode was shit, and it felt like it was made in creative in 5 minutes. It launched with numerous bugs, long wait times, a reused POI as the whole map, which honestly I don't mind, but I think they should have put it in the Elite Stronghold map for consistency, and it had 2 cosmetics, attainable through challenges. The cracked blueprint spray and Builder's Crest backbling. These were really the only reason anyone touched this game mode, and once I got them, like everyone else, I moved on with my life. Recently it came to my attention that there were some new rewards to gain from this mode, so I thought, alright, it's been a while, almost a full season. I've seen the banner for this mode change a few times, so there must have been updates. Let's see what it's got. The game mode launched with a leaderboard to track other players' ranks, similar to the rivalry leaderboard from the same season, a new 1v1 button to fight your friends, which I think is actually really cool. Have I used it once? No. But this is finally an update to the social menu, so I'll take it.
Yes! My turn, assholes!
Visual audio effects were also removed to make sound effects more important for this really enclosed space, which I do think adds to the game mode, but can hearing impaired people just not play it? The visualized sound effects are an accessibility feature after all. A specific feature for the 2v2 mode was team merging, and this would occur if your teammate left or disconnected, in which it would try to match you with another player. The rooms are really weird looking and don't work in my opinion. The walls have the Coliseum look with banners and arches, which makes sense granted where we are, but then there are res holographic blocks, which aren't the actual names of these things, but I don't know what they are, and I can't find them. I like the idea of them being obstacles the elites set for the round, but the themes don't mix well in my opinion. The sizes of the rooms were 3x3, 3x5, 4x4, and 5x5 tiles. The smaller rooms make for much closer combat fights, and the bigger ones allow for much more building, and this does allow this game mode to stand out a bit from the other box fights. Something I like about this game mode is the overtime mechanic. If the game takes too long, then this will kick in, disabling building, replacing all current builds with neutral ones that allow anyone to edit them, and will eventually start ticking your health down like being in the storm. This is great as it does help move some rounds along, but other times there are so many heals that it can take a bit longer. Arena Boxfights peaked at 52,723 players and quickly dropped within a day to 18,000 players, where it now sits between 500 and 2,500 people. Comparing that to Reload, another PvP game they released, it peaked at 253,097 people on its first day, and on the weekend following its release had over 1.6 million concurrent players. Reload saw massive growth both quickly and has been able to keep it pretty stable with a hardcore fanbase, who've stuck with it even through hard times like the Squid Game collab. The game currently usually sits between 200,000 and 600,000 players. I will give this game mode a little credit though, as when doing research I've seen it's been used a lot more casually than I initially knew, such as this Texas University's esports team hosting a tournament around it. Once the attention from this game mode died down, which happened in like a week, there were far less people in each match, which both affects the actual gameplay of the game, with how many rounds you need to win, and the downtime as there are long queue times, both to load into the game and while you're waiting for your turn. Like seriously, everything in this game mode takes years to load, including the beginning animation, which like, why do we still have this? Can we get rid of this? We've all seen it and it's super obnoxious, or just add like a skip button, I don't know.
I'm about to skip this shit. Skip. But when does this game get fucking good?
You'll see I just immediately leave at the end too, because there's also another long animation for the winner. I would say a good 65% of this game mode is just sitting around, and what makes it worse is there's nothing to do. The Colossal Coliseum part of the map has 4 small, and I mean small, distinct building areas, and that's it. The only thing I end up doing is emoting scrolling TikTok. This game mode was also the first mode to feature an in-game voice announcer. Wow, I wonder what wonderful places that will bring us in the future. A little off topic, but I made the mistake of using my secondary, and that's a big no-no apparently in this mode. This happened off camera, but I finally won a round when I first played, and the people in chat were going off on me for pulling out an SMG. I understand from a competitive standpoint that a lot of players like to use just an AR and a shotgun when 1v1ing, but the game mode gives you these items. There are plenty of other box fight modes to play, I don't know. A lot of these players I've just found to be very toxic. The 2 loot pools for these seasons, updates, I don't really know what to call them, were very different from each other. The new one has all Chapter 5 and onwards weapons and items, including minis, while the game mode launched with a more expansive loot pool of different weapon types, especially heal-wise. Back to the new cosmetics though. These require you to reach 125 round wins for the box up emoticon, 300, which was the previous highest amount, for the Cranking 90s spray, and 750 wins for the Blueprint pickaxe. Due to how limited the amount of people play this game mode are, most of the games end after 7 rounds, which is just not enough time to gain all these levels. That means to get the pickaxe, if you win every single game, it will still take well over 100 games played. And with how long the loading times are, I don't even imagine that's possible. These new rewards were not marketed as heavily, most likely because they already want to phase this game mode out instead of trying to fix it like they do with many others, and because they promised future rewards for this game mode when they first launched it. In between these rewards and the old ones, Fortnite added lightsabers to this mode, which completely defeated the whole purpose of it. Just remove the competitive aspect of a specifically competitive mode, why not? They just made the few players that actually played this mode leave for the day, but like I said, luckily it was just the one day from May 4th. One thing I will say I really like about the new updates to this mode though is the new ranked system, which is based off points you earn from rounds 1. When a round starts, a banner with a color corresponding to your rank points, and your skin is shown, which I think just adds a little bit more to the game. Also, you can earn titles for your banner. Sadly, they never fixed the glitch where you can't open the leaderboard on console, or at least for Xbox. This ruins a lot of the games for me, as I can't see how many players there are to see why I'm waiting, and I have no idea who's close to me in the leaderboard other than the top 2. I had really high hopes for this game mode when it was first announced, and it's sad to see all its wasted potential go down the drain. On the other hand though, I know a lot of the people who make a living off of UEFN celebrate it a bit. Although UEFN is not my favorite, it is really nice that Epic Games gives so many people a livelihood through this program. Oh. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please subscribe and check out some of my other content.